Over the past few years, I've been coaching new and first year teachers around the world to get their first or next teaching position. One common thing I see new teachers experience is getting non-renewed. If this has happened to you, don't panic. Today, I'm going to be diving into what my clients and I did when they were non-renewed and how they went on to have happy, fulfilling careers in the education profession. So, with that being said, let's dive in.
Hey, teacher bestie. My name's Helena, and I'm the creator of the Present Teacher Podcast. I'm a first year teacher coach, and in this podcast, you are going to learn everything from simple, actionable classroom management, social emotional learning, and teacher wellness strategies. You know that impact you want to make in the classroom? Well, we're going to make it happen here.
The first thing I want to tell you, if you just found out you are non-renewed, first off, just know that you are not alone. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Give yourself permission to feel the feelings, take your time to grieve, feel angry, sad, scared, whatever it is. Your feelings are valid and it's perfectly fine to feel the way that you are. Let's talk about why it happens and why it's not always about you. So, first off, a common way that I see a lot of teachers get non-renewed is due to not enough funding. You see, a lot of districts relied on COVID funding for teaching positions, and they don't have the same funding that they had back in the day for some of those positions in the last several years. So, a lot of positions are getting cut, and so some districts are going based off seniority, and therefore the first teachers to go are often the newer first year teachers. So make sure to keep that in mind. The second thing is maybe there's higher up issues. Maybe there are several things happening higher up at the district level or the state level or even the federal level, especially right now, that are impacting the amount of positions there are. This has no reflection on you or your ability to teach or your worthiness as a teacher. The third common thing I see is a lack of support. You see, districts just aren't honestly prepared to support new and first year teachers in the district, so they let them go, and they have a high turnover rate for new and first year teachers. And the fourth reason why I see a lot of teachers, you know, be non-renewed is it's just not a good fit. This has nothing to do on you or saying that you're a bad teacher. It's just not a right fit in that particular district or that particular school. This can actually be a good thing because you are able to find a district that is more aligned with you. I promise there's a district out there who's looking for you. You just have to get clear on what you want. And I want to talk about some success stories from the teachers I've coached that have been non-renewed and went on to have amazing careers. First one is a special education teacher. This special education teacher went on halfway through the year. She got notified she was being non-renewed. We worked on one-on-one. She joined my Land Your Dream Job program, and within a month later, she actually worked and received a teaching position in her dream teaching district that she actually wanted to apply to the first time around, but she was a little too nervous to. I helped her prepare for her interview, and that interview felt so easy. It felt fully aligned to her. She felt like it was natural and like it was just like having a conversation with a best friend. So she was the perfect person for the job. Another success story I have is another first year teacher. She was applying for another teaching position, and she actually ended up trying several different districts. She applied in June, July, August, September, and before she knew it, the school year had already started, and she was worried that she wouldn't get a teaching position. I worked with her one-on-one. She also joined my program, and then mid-year, after about a month or two into the school year, she found her dream teaching position where she feels extremely supported and valued, and she's happily still working there to this day. There's another teacher I worked with who was looking to switch districts or switch charter schools more of. She was an experienced teacher. She liked the district she was currently working at, but there was another school that was way more aligned with her that she was excited about. She went to this interview and she said it was a dream. It was just like talking to me about her passions and education, and it went so flawlessly that she had an amazing time and ended up getting the position. And so I'm here to tell you if it's possible for them, it's possible for you too. Many successful teachers have been non-renewed early in their year, and you're not alone. So you might be wondering what to do next. Well, let's talk about what to say and not say during your next teacher interview or during your application. So here's what not to say during your next teacher interview. I wouldn't say I was let go because my principal didn't like me, because this can sound defensive. The second thing I wouldn't say is I got fired. This is overly negative and can be very final. The third thing is the admin or school was terrible. Bad mouthing past employers can be a major red flag to future employees or employers. The last one, I don't really know why I wasn't renewed. This sounds like a lack of reflection. So these are the things I particularly wouldn't say if you were non-renewed. I personally, when I ended up switching districts, I didn't say any of these things when they asked me why I was leaving the district I did during my interview. Instead, I just pointed out how this district was more aligned to me than my previous district, and that's why I was excited to work for this new district. And I wasn't at all degrading the previous one. I was just talking about how it's closer to where I live and I want my kids to go here and I want to work long term in the school district that my kids go to and etc. So I wasn't at all bad mouthing the last district. I was just pointing out some of the pros that this district had that I felt would be better aligned to me. So with that being said, here's are some sample responses on what to say instead. So first thing, if you were non-renewed because of budget cuts or school changes, you could say something like, unfortunately, my position was impacted by district-wide budget cuts. While I was sad to leave, I used the opportunity to reflect on my strengths as an educator and gain more professional development, and I'm excited to bring those to the next role. If it was due to a classroom fit or maybe a performance issue, you can say at insert your school name. I learned so much in my first year, but ultimately the position was not the best fit. I've taken this experience as a chance to grow, and I've since focused on strengthening my classroom management or insert another skill here through specific training, mentorship, reflection. I'm excited to apply what I've learned in the new teaching community. If you struggled but improved, and that's the reason, here's another answer you can give. My first year represented challenges as it does for many new teachers. While I faced some areas of growth in insert here, like classroom management or lesson pacing, I worked closely with my mentor teacher to improve. I've since implemented insert strategy here and have seen major growth in my confidence and effectiveness as an educator. So now that we talked about what to say and what not to say, let's talk about how to prepare for your next teacher interview with confidence. So the first thing, focus on your growth and your strengths. It can be really easy to focus on the negative and the things that went wrong, but instead take some time to make a list of 3 things that you learned from your first year that makes you a better teacher now. Practice incorporating those answers as strengths in your next interview. For example, one key takeaway from my first year as a teacher was the importance of setting clear classroom expectations from day one. I've since developed a strong classroom management plan and am confident in my ability to build positive relationships with students. Second thing, be ready to answer some questions. What would you do differently? This is a question you might get, I would recommend then answering the question in a way like, I'd focus on establishing classroom procedures from the start and building relationships with my admin and mentor teacher for ongoing support. If you get another question like, how have you worked to improve since your last position? You can answer something like, I've taken professional development courses on behavior management and differentiated instruction, and I've created a detailed classroom management plan that I'm excited to implement. So, those are some things to keep in mind as you prepared. Let's talk about how to stay motivated as you're going out into the teacher interview world. First thing, instead of thinking I got fired, no one will hire me, shift to this was a learning experience and I'm going to find a school that's a better fit and more aligned for me. Think to yourself, I know what to look for now in my next school to set myself up for success. I learned from my last district, I really love this, but I wish there would have been this. Now I'm even more clear on the district I want to work for. And the third thing, this doesn't define you as a teacher. Your growth and where you are going does. So don't feel like one experience can define who you are. I didn't quit or judge myself as a teacher for my entirety because I had terrible classroom management when I started. It doesn't define who I am as a teacher today. Sure, it made things hard at first, but I learned from it, and now it is actually one of the things I thoroughly enjoy teaching and talking about here on the Present Teacher channel because I'm so passionate about helping other teachers with it. The next thing I recommend to do is to join a support group. Connect with other teachers like in our free teachers the present teacher community that have been through this. Make sure to practice some self-care. Take some time to love on yourself, buy that extra cup of coffee, take some time to read your favorite book, take some time to pamper yourself because it can be really take a toll on your emotional and mental health right now. So make sure you're showing up for yourself because that'll help you in the long term not only feel good, but feel more confident as you move forward in the process. And then the third thing, keep applying. Don't feel discouraged. Remember, there's a district out there who is looking for you. It's just a matter of getting clear on who you are and who you want to work for and getting aligned with that so that district can meet you along the journey. So that wraps up everything in regards to being non-renewed. The first thing I want to review is you're not alone. You got this. Second thing, what to do next. We talked about things to do, what to say and what not to say. And the third thing we talked about is how to stay motivated. If you want to continue your teacher interview journey with me, I have a couple of different resources for you. First off, I recommend that you tune in wherever you're tuning in from. I have a ton of previous weeks of content where I talk more about the teacher interview process, so make sure to check that out. I'm at over 130, almost 140 weeks of content now, so definitely have a lot. Go check it out. The second thing is I recommend you check out the Ultimate Teacher Interview Guide. This is my guide where I dive into everything about the interview process. I took the most 10 commonly asked questions I get in regards to how to prepare for your upcoming interview, and I answered those. Then I went out and did blog posts, podcasts, and YouTube videos on them for further explanation, and I linked to them. So, for example, if you want to find out what you should wear for an interview, you can go to that page, read my blip, and then if you want a further explanation, you can just click the links in that PDF and it'll send you to either the podcast or the YouTube video for a further explanation. And it does that with all the questions, which I really, really love because it puts all my content in one spot for you so you're not sifting through over 130 now weeks of content. The third thing I recommend you check out is my 3 teacher interview 3-day event. In this event, I dive into my top strategies in regards to preparing for your upcoming interview, everything from research to preparing for that upcoming interview. And the last thing, if you are wanting to work with me, whether it's one-on-one or you just want to get the strategies I share with the teachers that I coach one-on-one in regards to interviewing, I recommend that you check out Land Your Dream Job. Land Your Dream Job is my program that walks you through everything from researching districts to following up and everything in between in a single weekend. This program is supposed to be so easy to implement that you could do it in its entirety in a weekend if you wanted to. What I like about this is there's 2 different options. You can do the self-paced where you do it at your own pace. The second option is you get a one-on-one coaching call with me where we can do a mock-up interview. So after you go through the program, if you want, me to coach you through a interview, we can do that and we can jump on. Some of my favorite things that I've added actually in the past year to this program after I got some feedback, I actually have a mock-up interview audio, which I absolutely love. So I ask the top 10 interview questions most teachers get asked on their interview, and I answer them. I give them sample answers, then I ask the question again, and then I leave a space for you to pause the audio and you can answer then with your answer, which I really, really love. So make sure to check that out because I feel like it's a really good resource. I wish I would have had it when I was in my interview process, but yeah, definitely check that out. All right, so that wraps up all my advice for being non-renewed. As always, remember we are stronger together, and I'll see you in the next one, Teacher Bestie. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I hope that you were able to take away some value that will help you thrive inside and out of the classroom. It would mean the world to me if you could take 5 seconds right now and leave a review on this podcast. And if you found this podcast especially helpful, make sure to take a screenshot of this episode right now and tag me on your socials to let me know you're listening. As always, remember that we are stronger together. With all the love in the world, Helena, aka the Present Teacher. See you next time, Teacher Bestie.